Okay, so here are the videos from our last session. It's coming a long way. It's uh, it's moving in the right direction. We just have to try and find a way to maybe be more deliberate with the action. Um, I don't want to say take it slower, but I think that when you start your golf swing and you've got an idea of what you do, as soon as you start, you're not able to get to those ideas. There's some things in your swing that kind of get you to a point where you lose balance a little bit. And I think that when we lose balance, you kind of have a blackout moment where we don't really control anything when we have a loss of balance. So, what I'm looking for here in the action, I'm going to look at the swing on the left to start from down the line. When we were working on a couple things in the takeaway to try and avoid the lead arm, your right arm, from rolling left, right, from making a pronation action to the left, which sucks the club inside. And we can take a look here. This was actually a couple swings into our session where we can see that we've got the club face a little bit closed, but that arm is kind of rolling the shaft in a little bit. So it it kind of has a bit of a decent look, but it's been cheated. So the shaft's been rolled open, but the face has been turned closed a little bit. So it doesn't look as bad, but it kind of started to get us out of whack a little bit. And the one thing that we can tell is that we can see that your lead arm is actually, perpendicular to your baseline or your target line, or this line on the ground, right? This is all straight right here. Where if we made a golf swing where what we'd want to see happen, we talked about this a little bit, with the hands have to stay a little bit closer to the knee and not move away. Because when they move away, the club head sucks in. So we're trying to make some swings where in this position in your swing right here, where the hands are on the right of the green line, but the club head's more, maybe feels more out here on the left. So we were making some swings, some feels and some motions that tried to get a sensation that your arms were a little bit potentially higher, which this has done a good job of before we could see a lot of that shoulder back here. So we've got the arm moving up in a decent position, and we worked a little bit on trying to feel as though that we got this club in a different spot, where instead of having it, pointing in that direction, we almost had it feeling like it was going here and flattening out. And what we had as a analogy or an image for you to have in your mind is that we built a table that went up like this, all the way up to the top about here, and then here's the top of the table, okay? And the idea was to take the backswing where the club stayed on the outside the table, and then on the top up here, it would fold onto the table and it would get flat. And when we had that type of position and look, and I'll look for that video in a sec, we had some really good things going on. So I think that if we can get this backswing a little bit more kind of slower, a little bit more deliberate, give you a chance to take more time doing it, I think you're going to get a bit of a better feeling of this, a better motion, a quicker result. So if I look over here on the left side of things, what we talked a lot about in the takeaway was avoiding this forward press. That when you start your swing by pushing your hands so far forward, you've actually changed your swing path and your pattern a little bit. If you were to start right here, I would guess that your path would be somewhere 15 degrees inside out. So when you make this motion, your shoulders start to actually point toward the target, right? So right here, you've gone from having fairly square shoulders to now they're actually open, okay? And somehow from here, we've got to make a motion that goes all the way back to the top of your swing. So you're almost building in, a necessity for a 120-degree shoulder turn, which is something that we don't really want to build in and need. However, not the biggest, most crucial part of this. The stuff that we've been working on was at the setup, trying to feel as though that your hips were a slight amount closed. Because I think when we got the hips closed, we got the shoulders in a good spot. Fight the force or the need to make this forward press. And as you went to the top of your swing, I wanted you to have the sensation that you were really standing into this back leg. And we were making moves where you lifted your front leg off the ground, trying to hold it at the top of your swing. But we can see that about 2/3 of the way into your upswing, toward the top of your swing, you're moving in toward the target. And before you start your downswing, you've really leaned into this front side. So your movement into the front leg has happened really early. So from here, what's going to happen is you're going to start to stand up. And we can see that your head starts to rise. The shaft starts to, release or kick out a little bit. And then from here, we actually get a stalled rotation, and you get a lot of lean. So if we take a look at how your body's moving, starting in this position at setup, I drew these two dots right here to demonstrate, where the middle of you is. And as you take it to the top of your swing, halfway up's not too bad, but here on in, you start moving away from that line considerably. You're way in front of that line and standing up and really extending the body a lot. And this motion of getting your body very tall is it's too tall too early in the swing, too early in the race. So consider it an out of sequence thing. So if your body's in a position here where your arms at this stage should probably be out this way, club's already hit the ball, club's kind of rehinged a little bit, your body's well outraced your arms and your club. So we get almost a pulling from here, or you need to drive your arms. So the pulling sensation really gets your arms to fire up. So, you're getting a lot of speed from your body tilting, your body firing forward, and then your arm speed coming off your chest, which, might not be a bad way to hit a few shots, but not a good way to have your overall pattern. So we're trying to get the necessity to have such an aggressive and early transfer of weight from the top of your swing forward, right? I don't want the body moving so forward so early and so, call it fast. From here, we're going to try and take out how much arm speed you have and get the arms to stop a little bit and get the club to release a little bit better and let that thing kind of kick up. So instead of this position here where your body's very, very extended and your arms are extended and the club is still in a position where it hasn't rehinged yet, there's a lot of energy being kind of held back on that one, being held somewhere in your body. So those are the kind of things that we're trying to clean up. And I think that understanding the pieces in the backswing, understanding that we're trying to get the hands to move in with the club staying out here in this space, right? And as you take it to the top and fold it flat along the table, we're trying to keep the weight on this side a little longer, get this knee back to being bent so you can hold some weight on this leg a little bit longer and let your body rotation bring your arms and the club back to the ball. And then from there, we're going to see the more rotation is going to have these arms going back up a little bit this way. So when I was standing in front of you, holding a stick, kind of like here, trying to get you to feel like you swung under the stick and swung more to the right, that was really trying to get your body in the right position to put your arms there to do it. But if your arms swing what they're doing here, which is almost swinging down the line, what we see is the arms separating from the body, and in this view, the arms are too high. That's kind of what we see. So, in your pattern, we're trying to keep the weight back, get the weight off of your front foot, try and get the arms to stop sooner after impact and swing a little bit to the right. Overall, that's kind of the same pattern we've built on for the past month. So I think that if you tackled that stuff, we'd have some good success the next time we meet up. Let's see if I can find another video here of a good picture from you being at the top of your swing. What's this one look like? Not as bad as some of the first ones we had, but we can see here as the club starts to go up on a decent line, but I need the trajectory of your hands and arms to kind of stay on this type of a line, including the club head. And we can see the club head is veering away from this orange line a lot, so by the time it gets down to it, it's not on it, it's really crossing it. This club's coming down really steep, your arms are really far behind your body, I mean, the middle of your body is somewhere over here, and your arms are way back here, so that when your body starts to turn, the only way the club can get back up in front of you is to stand up a little bit. So now the arms fire out to the left, which is why we fight pushes and blocks. So you've got the right ideas, you've got the right pattern. I don't think I have the best video or the best picture to show you of where the best moves were. Apologize for that. This one was out a little bit more. That's definitely a better look to the top of your backswing right there. Kind of tweaks off a little bit toward the top, or as it comes down. But I'd say that in an overall look and a picture in your mind, somewhere where, that you got to, I'd love to see something like this being the top of your swing. And on that note, go ahead and practice.